In this video, I'm going to do the first kind of finance formula. I know if you are coming from a background with not having finance before, you may not recognize the formula immediately. If you have, you will. But the main point is just kind of show you where those formulas reside. So first, let's do a little bit of autofill again. I want to go for 30 years. I want to see how much my money grows over. I'll take this and I just drag it down to 30. And again, I may want to freeze the panes, depending on how I want to do this. So I know it takes time to do it, but it's worthwhile to make sure you have, a good spreadsheet here. If I want to grow at 10%, I'm going to have, $1 at 10% next year is worth $1.10. Well, what's it worth the year after that? Well, I don't have to figure that out because Excel is going to do it. But if I just do the double click, it's just saying that it wants to count up by 0.1 every time. So what I have to do is get this drag handle, right click, go all the way down, and now I have the option to choose a growth trend. And now this is saying if I have $1, that dollar is going to grow at 10% to $1.10, $1.21, $1.33, and on like that. So maybe I want to do it with autofill. I can also do it with the user formula, and this is going to be kind of a game time decision, which one's the best way to do it. Say, I start out with $1. The next year it is, just type equal, it's what it was last year times 1 plus that rate of 10%, and that never changes, F4. And I just hit enter, and it says, well, you didn't give me that last parenthesis. Okay, I just accept the correction by hitting yes. I don't have to hit yes, just press enter. And then I can double click that down. And see, those are the exact same numbers, right? So $1 becomes $1.10, $1.21, and on like that. The advantage of using the formula, I can change this to 15%. I can't do that with autofill. So it's real specific times when I may want autofill. There's also an Excel formula built in to do some things, and future value is one of them. But if I'm wondering, is there an Excel formula already built to do this? Because maybe it's something more complicated, I don't understand it. I go to formulas, go to insert function, and I say, well, I have no idea if it has it, but if it did, I know I'm doing future value, so I'll just type a guess of something I may think will do it, press go, and it has all these different things, and I would just have to search through till I find it, and there's future value. So it's easier the first time I'm using a function like future value, just click OK, and it's going to tell me the different things that I want for these function arguments. Now, I don't care if you understand what the function is doing right now or not. It's just, this is how you would use any function, assuming you understood what the function was trying to do. It's going to have a certain rate. It's going to have a certain number of periods. So I have this period 1. I'm making a mistake here. You'll notice it later. And it's going to have a certain, in this case, the payment 0. And I want to get the value of just $1, so I'm just going to put 1 and click OK. And that makes that minus 1.1. Double click that down. It's got all this weird stuff to it. So see how I don't have, this is copying just like other formulas. So what I'm going to do back here, and I'm going to go to, I'm going to clear this out. Right, get all of this. Shift Control down. Hit the wrong button. Shift Control down. Right click and then Shift in. That clears all that out. So I might insert this function again without making mistakes, hopefully. And so the interest rate's never going to change, so I'll lock that down. The number of periods, I want the number of periods to change, because I'm going to copy this down after 1 year, after 2 years, after whatever. But now I'm starting at year 0, not at year 1, so I say my number of periods is that minus 1. So I can even put a formula in here. And notice when I press the rate, it shows it's 0.1. The number of periods, it shows me 0. It shows me the number it's reading in there. So this is with 0 years. Payment 0. Present value, I want the value today if I just put in $1. And the formula result is minus 1. Well, for details you'll learn when you do time value of money, I don't want that to be minus 1, I want it to be a positive 1, so I just change that to minus 1. That makes that positive. OK. Double click down, and all those numbers match up the same, right? So the point of that is to use the autofill growth. Sometimes that's the best way. I'm just doing this one time. The 10% easy to do. Maybe there's a formula I can put in myself, my user formula, or maybe there's an Excel formula, Excel function, I guess I should have said, to use that as well. So now I have this initial deposit. I'm putting in $1,500. So what happens to $1,500 using the autofill function? So the 1,500, that's not going to change. F4 times the autofill amount, and this cell needs to be bigger. So I want to fill all those in, so I don't copy down first, I copy across first. And look what I'm doing. That's using the Excel, that's using the user, all those are correct. And I double click down, and I look, I have everything. Escape, because I got into that accidentally. Go down here, I can make sure these cells are wide enough, and it's all the same. So the point of that is, a few things here. Just again, repetition with putting the formulas in and copy them very quickly, and letting you see how to use an Excel formula, Excel function that's embedded in there. So we did the future value, and I'll do a video in just a second with the present value.